It is 3 o'clock in the morning. You are deep in a dream, finally getting the rest you need, when suddenly, you are jolted awake by a sensation that feels like a vice grip tightening around your calf. It is not just a little twitch. It is a violent, seizing pain. Your muscle has turned into a rock. You try to straighten your leg, but it pulls back. You try to rub it, but it is tender to the touch. You might even have to roll out of bed and stand on the cold floor, limping around the bedroom, waiting for the muscle to finally release its hold. It leaves you exhausted, frightened, and sore for the next day. This is the reality for millions of people over the age of 60. We call them leg cramps, or Charley horses, and we often dismiss them as just another annoyance of getting older. We tell ourselves we are just dehydrated, or maybe we walked too much. But what if I told you that this pain is not an accident? What if I told you that your body is screaming at you, trying to tell you that it is critically low on one specific, vital fuel? You are likely not just thirsty. You are starving for a mineral that acts as the master switch for your muscles, your sleep, and your heart. Today we are going to talk about the silent epidemic of magnesium deficiency in the senior population. We are going to go deep into the biology of why, after the age of 60, your body suddenly struggles to absorb this mineral, even if you are eating the same foods you always did. We are going to connect the dots between those leg cramps, your insomnia, and those scary little flutters you sometimes feel in your chest. They are not three separate problems, they are three heads of the same monster. By the end of this video, you will understand the chemistry of relaxation, you will know exactly which foods to put in your shopping cart, and you will learn why the supplement you might be taking could be completely useless. We are going to turn that nighttime pain into a distant memory. Let's start with the why. Why is this happening now? Magnesium is an essential mineral. It is responsible for over 300 biochemical reactions in the human body. It is the spark plug of your engine. Without it, the engine misfires. But here is the cruel trick of aging: as we get older, our ability to absorb magnesium from our food plummets. This is primarily due to stomach acid. To strip magnesium out of a piece of spinach or a nut and get it into your bloodstream, you need strong hydrochloric acid in your stomach. But as we age, acid production naturally declines. If you are one of the millions of seniors taking medication for acid reflux or heartburn, like proton pump inhibitors, your stomach acid is virtually non-existent. You are shutting down the very mechanism needed to absorb the mineral. So, you could be eating a healthy salad, but your body is treating it like cardboard, letting the magnesium pass right through you. This creates a hidden deficiency. You aren't sickly, you aren't starving, but your cells are running on empty. Now, let's look at the leg cramp. To understand the cramp, you have to understand the relationship between two minerals, calcium and magnesium. They are the odd couple of your body. They are partners, but they have opposite jobs. Calcium is the contractor. When calcium rushes into a muscle cell, it tells the muscle fibers to grab onto each other and squeeze. It causes contraction. That is good, you need that to walk and lift things. Magnesium is the relaxer. Magnesium's job is to usher the calcium out of the cell and tell the muscle fibers to let go. It acts as the brake pedal. In a healthy body, this happens thousands of times a day perfectly. Contract, relax. Gas, brake. But in a magnesium-deficient body, you have plenty of gas, but no brakes. The calcium rushes in, the muscle contracts, and then, nothing happens. The magnesium isn't there to tell it to stop. The muscle gets stuck in the on position. That is the cramp. That rock-hard knot in your calf is literally a calcium overload because the magnesium police force is missing. This usually happens at night because magnesium levels naturally dip in the early morning hours, and because you are not moving to pump the blood. It is a terrifying feeling because you lose control of your own limb. But the leg is just the visible symptom. If your leg muscles are cramping, it means your other muscles are struggling too. And the most important muscle in your body is your heart. This brings us to the second major danger of this deficiency: heart arrhythmia. Just like your calf, your heart runs on electricity generated by electrolytes. It needs to contract and relax, beat by beat, for your entire life. If you are low on magnesium, the heart muscle can become twitchy. It can contract prematurely. You might feel this as a flutter, a skip, or a racing sensation when you are just sitting in your chair. This is often atrial fibrillation or simple palpitations. While you should always check chest pain with a doctor, many cardiologists will tell you that the first line of defense for a fluttering heart is to check magnesium levels. A heart that has enough magnesium beats with a steady, rhythmic thrum. A heart starved of magnesium is irritable and unstable. We often worry about cholesterol and blood pressure, which are important, but we forget the electrical stability of the heart itself. Magnesium is the stabilizer. Then we have the third symptom, insomnia. How many of you stare at the ceiling at 2 a.m.? You are tired, but your brain won't shut off. Your body feels restless. You might have restless leg syndrome, where your legs feel like they have ants crawling inside them. This is magnesium again. Magnesium plays a key role in the production of a neurotransmitter called GABA. GABA is the brain's chill pill. It quiets down the neural activity. It tells your brain, the day is over, it is time to sleep. Without enough magnesium, you cannot make enough GABA. Your brain stays in high alert mode. Furthermore, magnesium helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone. If your magnesium is low, your cortisol stays high at night, keeping you wired. You might fall asleep from exhaustion, but you wake up easily and can't go back to sleep. This is not just old age insomnia. This is a chemical imbalance. So, we have the triad, the cramp, the flutter, and the wakefulness. If you have 2 or 3 of these, you can be almost certain you need more magnesium. But don't run to the pharmacy just yet. We need to talk about food first, because food is always the best medicine, and certain foods are packaged with the cofactors needed for absorption. The absolute king of magnesium foods is dark, leafy greens. Spinach, Swiss chard, kale, and collard greens. The center of the chlorophyll molecule, the stuff that makes plants green, is a magnesium atom. When you eat green, you eat magnesium. However, for our 60-plus gut, raw salads can be hard to digest. The sheer volume of raw kale you would have to chew to get your daily dose is huge. A better strategy is to cook your greens. Sautéed spinach shrinks down. You can eat a whole bag of spinach easily if it is wilted down with a little olive oil and garlic. This concentrates the nutrients and makes them easier for your stomach to access. Aim for a cup of cooked greens every single day. Next up, pumpkin seeds. These little green seeds are nutritional powerhouses. Just a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds contains nearly half of your daily magnesium requirement. They are easy to keep on the counter. Snack on them while watching TV. Put them in your oatmeal. They also contain zinc and healthy fats, which act as a delivery system for the minerals. Almonds and cashews are also excellent, but pumpkin seeds are the density champions. Then we have a favorite, dark chocolate. Yes, you have permission to eat chocolate. But it has to be the real stuff. We are talking 70% cocoa or higher. Milk chocolate is just candy, it's sugar. Sugar actually depletes magnesium. But dark, bitter chocolate is rich in magnesium. A square or 2 after dinner is not just a treat, it is a heart-healthy ritual. It contains flavonoids that help blood flow, and the magnesium helps you relax before bed. Another unsung hero is the avocado. One medium avocado provides about 15% of your daily needs. It is soft, it is easy to digest, and it is full of potassium. Potassium is the other partner in muscle health. A muscle cramp can sometimes be a potassium issue too, so the avocado hits 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, let's have a very serious conversation about supplements. Because if you walk into a drugstore, you will see 20 different bottles that all say magnesium. And if you buy the wrong one, you are wasting your money and potentially causing yourself a bathroom emergency. Most cheap supplements use magnesium oxide. If you turn the bottle over and read the label, and it says oxide, put it back. Magnesium oxide has a terrible absorption rate, only about 4% is absorbed by your body. The rest? It stays in your gut and draws water in. It works as a laxative. In fact, milk of magnesia is magnesium. If you take oxide, you won't fix your leg cramps, but you will have diarrhea. It is not what we want. For seniors, we need specific forms of magnesium that are chelated, meaning bound to an amino acid carrier that sneaks the mineral through the stomach wall. The gold standard for leg cramps and sleep is magnesium glycinate. It is magnesium bound to glycine. Glycine is an amino acid that itself promotes relaxation and sleep. This form is very gentle on the stomach, it rarely causes digestive upset. It is highly absorbable. It goes straight to the muscles and the brain. If you are buying a supplement, look for bisglycinate or glycinate. Another good option is magnesium citrate. This is magnesium bound to citric acid. It is well absorbed and is a bit cheaper than glycinate. However, it can have a mild laxative effect. If you tend to be constipated, which is common in older adults, magnesium citrate might be the perfect 2-in-1 solution. It helps you become regular and fixes your cramps. But be careful with the dose. Start low. There is also a method that bypasses the stomach entirely, transdermal magnesium. Magnesium oil or magnesium lotion. You apply it directly to the skin, right on the calf muscle that hurts. Some studies suggest the body can absorb magnesium through hair follicles and sweat glands. While the science is still debating exactly how much gets into the blood, thousands of people swear by it for local pain relief. If you have a sensitive stomach and cannot take pills, spraying magnesium oil on your legs before bed might be the miracle you need. It can sting a little at first, which ironically is a sign of deficiency, but it relaxes the muscle almost instantly. We also need to talk about the thieves, the things in your lifestyle that are stealing magnesium from you. The biggest thief is sugar. To process 1 molecule of sugar, your body requires 54 molecules of magnesium. Think about that exchange rate. Every time you eat a cookie, a piece of cake, or drink a soda, you are draining your magnesium bank account. If you are prone to cramps, you must look at your sugar intake. High blood sugar and insulin resistance cause the kidneys to dump magnesium in the urine. You are literally peeing away your protection. Alcohol is another thief. Alcohol is a diuretic. It forces fluid and minerals out of the body. If you notice that you get cramps more often on nights when you have had a couple of glasses of wine, that is the connection. It dehydrates the muscle and depletes the mineral reserve. Coffee, in excess, does the same. We aren't saying you can't live a little, but you have to know the cost. If you have a glass of wine, you might need an extra handful of pumpkin seeds to balance the ledger. There is also a dangerous interaction with calcium and vitamin D. We are told constantly to take calcium and vitamin D for our bones, for osteoporosis. And that is true. But here is the catch: vitamin D cannot work without magnesium. Magnesium is required to convert vitamin D into its active form in the body. If you take high doses of vitamin D but you are low on magnesium, the vitamin D will use up the last drops of magnesium you have stored. This can actually make your symptoms worse. You start taking vitamin D to get healthy, and suddenly your leg cramps get worse and you feel anxious. That is because you induced a deficiency. Furthermore, without magnesium, calcium doesn't know where to go. Instead of going into your bones, it can settle in your arteries or your soft tissues. This leads to calcification, hardening of the arteries. Magnesium is the traffic cop that directs calcium into the bone. Never take high doses of calcium or vitamin D without ensuring your magnesium intake is adequate. They must work as a team. Let's discuss testing. You might go to your doctor and say, "Doc, check my magnesium." He draws blood, calls you the next day, and says, your levels are normal. Yet, you still have cramps. Why? Because the standard blood test, serum magnesium, is almost useless. Only 1% of the magnesium in your body is in your blood. The other 99% is in your bones and muscles. Your body fights desperately to keep that 1% in the blood stable to prevent a heart attack. If levels drop, the body steals magnesium from your bones and muscles to top off the blood. So, your blood looks normal, but your bones are crumbling and your muscles are cramping. You are bone deficient but blood normal. If you want a real test, ask for an RBC magnesium test, red blood cell magnesium. This measures the amount inside the cells, which is a much better indicator of your actual status over the last few months. But honestly, most doctors will tell you that since magnesium is safe and the symptoms are so clear, it is often better to just try increasing your intake and see if the symptoms vanish. The body is the best laboratory. I want to paint a picture of what happens when you fix this. Imagine going to bed tonight. You have had your sautéed spinach at dinner. Maybe you took a magnesium glycinate supplement an hour before bed. You lay down. Your mind feels quieter, less racing. You drift off. The calcium in your muscles is being properly managed. The brakes are working. You sleep for 4 hours, 5 hours, maybe 6 hours straight. You wake up, and your legs feel loose. No knots. No pain. You walk to the kitchen with a spring in your step. Your heart feels calm. This is not a fantasy. This is biochemistry. There is another benefit we haven't touched on, bone density. We worry about hip fractures. Magnesium is just as important for bone strength as calcium. Bones made with adequate magnesium are less brittle. They have a little bit of flexibility, which prevents them from snapping. By fixing your cramps, you are accidentally protecting your hips. You are building a stronger skeleton. It is also worth noting the connection to blood pressure. Magnesium relaxes arteries just like it relaxes leg muscles. When arteries relax, they open up. When they open up, blood pressure goes down. Many people who start a magnesium protocol for cramps are pleasantly surprised to find their blood pressure numbers dropping by 5 or 10 points. It is a natural vasodilator. So, here is your action plan. First, look at your medicine cabinet. If you are taking antacids regularly, talk to your doctor about whether you really need them long-term, or if there are alternatives, because they are blocking your minerals. Second, do a fridge audit. Are there greens? Are there seeds? Are there avocados? If not, write them on your list. Make them staples, not occasional sides. Third, consider the supplement. If you decide to try it, start slow. Maybe 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate at night. See how you feel. Increase slowly if needed, up to the recommended daily allowance, which is around 320 to 420 milligrams depending on your gender. Fourth, hydration. Water transports minerals. If you are dehydrated, the blood thickens and the delivery system fails. Drink water throughout the day, not just at night. We have to stop accepting pain as a natural part of aging. "I'm just getting old" is a lazy diagnosis. You are not just getting old, you are a complex machine that needs maintenance. If your car started making a grinding noise, you wouldn't say, "Well, it's an old car, let it grind." You would check the oil. You would check the fluids. Your leg cramps are the grinding noise. Magnesium is the oil. Think about the freedom of movement. We want to be able to walk in the park with our grandchildren. We want to be able to travel. We want to be able to drive. A leg cramp seems small, but if it keeps you from sleeping, it ruins your energy for the whole day. If it makes you afraid to stretch, it makes you sedentary. Being sedentary kills. By addressing the mineral deficiency, you are reclaiming your active life. Magnesium is often called the forgotten mineral. It doesn't get the press that calcium or iron gets. But for the 60-plus crowd in America, it is arguably the most critical deficiency to correct. Our soil is depleted of magnesium due to modern farming, so even the vegetables aren't as rich as they used to be. Our water is filtered, removing the natural minerals. Our stress is high. Our sugar intake is high. Everything in modern life is conspiring to drain us of this vital element. You have to fight back. You have to be intentional about putting it back in. I want you to try this experiment for 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. Change the diet, add the pumpkin seeds, maybe try the Epsom salt bath, which is magnesium sulfate, before bed. Monitor your sleep. Monitor your legs. Keep a little journal. I bet you will be amazed at the difference. You will realize that the pain wasn't a permanent condition, it was a temporary signal. The body is forgiving. It wants to heal. It wants to work correctly. It just needs the tools. Give it the magnesium it is begging for. Unclench those muscles. Calm that heart. Quiet that mind. You deserve a peaceful night's sleep. You deserve to wake up without pain. Thank you for listening. It is the simple things, the minerals, the vitamins, the water, that build the foundation of our golden years. Don't overlook the basics. Take care of your magnesium levels, and your body will take care of you. Here is to a cramp-free night and a vibrant, energetic morning. Stay healthy, stay nourished, and sleep well.